It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L.A.R.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Losses Above Replacement, the greatest baseball podcast to grace your ears. I'm today's host, Mathias Kurosaki, and with me, as always, we have my amazing co-hosts, our favorite September call-ups, Alex Clark and Ryan Splash Potts. Gentlemen, first things first, as we begin every show, how are we doing on this fine Thursday evening?
I think we're definitely existing over here on the West Coast. Mariners have made me several times question my sanity, which, you know, is always a great thing to be doing in September. But I mean, other than that, work is doing fun stuff here. Can't say nothing, won't be saying anything, but I'm helping out, which is nice.
I want to give a shout out to Ha-Seong Kim. Good player. Hit the Braves' first home run out of the shortstop position since September 20th of last season. So good job to him. Maybe he's the starting shortstop in 2026 like God intended. I don't know. I want to be excited about the 2026 Braves because, like, I can read the back of the baseball cards. Like, Austin Riley is a good hitter. Ozzie Albies has been a good hitter. Michael Harris has generally been a good hitter. But it can be a little overwhelming when your team's, you know, like 20 games under 500 and way out of playoff spot. So
I saw that stat about that was the Braves shortstop's first home run all year, and I thought it was fake at first until I realized that it's been like a revolving door at shortstop, and Nick Allen hasn't hit a home run this year. So
yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
I'm surprised like Arcia didn't have one in like April. And I will give Nick Allen his due. He has probably been the best defensive shortstop in the National League. I don't think he's going to win the Gold Glove because he is not quite at the number of innings that the like the full season starters are. Although Mason Wynn should probably win it in that way. But I mean, he's been spectacular defensively, and no one in Atlanta would care if there weren't like 3 or 4 black holes in the lineup any given night. It's sort of the like Arcia a couple years ago, plus defender, hit 20 home runs or something. Like that's perfectly adequate if that's your 9-hole hitter. But if you're battling for the 7th best OPS on the team with Michael Harris and Ozzie Albies at various points in the season, that's a problem. As good as Allen is defensively, the lack of power is, and he hits like 250 and doesn't walk. It's like, not great.
Yeah, that's always going
to be. I will say Kim is a solid hitter when he's healthy. He's not like going to blow you away with his bat, but he's, you know, he can be a little above average, and he's a very slick fielding shortstop. So I see why the Braves picked him up, you know. And
speaking of, happy birthday, Andrelton Simmons, the GOAT. Best defensive shortstop in the history of professional sports.
Insane defensive shortstop. It was.
I mean, look, I don't know what you're talking about here, but like, I don't know. Jack Wilson is right there.
Jack Wilson was great. Anderson Hernandez was, I think, great. Wilson Valdez. You know, there was Luis Hernandez, Ruben Tejada. There were so many great defensive shortstops. I mean, it's tough to pick just one. You know,
really.
Okay, unironically, Jack Wilson is tremendous defensively.
Here's
Jack
the thing:
Wilson
I made like I wasn't making a joke when I said Jack Wilson. I was like half making a joke.
Yeah, we need to do one of those, not tiers, but like a pyramid sort of deal. Like it's like some current player versus like old player. Like is Ronald Acuna as good as Andre Dawson?
Okay, yeah.
That'd be fun to do.
Yeah, I see that.
Like the next level would be like, I don't know. I can't think of like like Juan Gonzalez.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that, yeah.
And then the
I would
last
also-
year would be like Willie Mays or something.
I would also be remiss if we're talking about great defensive shortstops that don't know how to hit the ball here if I did not mention my goat, Brendan Ryan.
I was gonna say Brendan Ryan.
He's
He
a
got-
standout in my Gold Glove spreadsheet. I will say
Absolutely, yeah. I will also say that he hit a grand slam against Tampa Bay at one point in his career, and I think I audibly dropped my phone with my mouth jaw hitting the ground before the phone did.
It'd be like that.
I mean, yeah, Brendan Ryan. I remember him I remember when he first came up with the Cardinals. Watching him a little bit. I remember he was briefly a Yankee at the end of his career.
He was.
Yeah, that was a powerful post Jeter tandem of him, Steven Drew, and Didi Gregorius. Of course, Didi actually had success.
I feel like Brendan Ryan is a really good candidate for did he play for?
Oh yeah, of course, because it wasn't even like he was just like a super journeyman, but like I wonder how many people actually remember him as a Yankee.
I only remember just because it made his Al Pacino impression all the much better.
I remember there was an old video when he was on the Cardinals. It was him and some other infielder playing wiffle ball in the parking lot.
Oh yeah,
Busch Stadium. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, everything's chilling over here. My parents got home from Japan last night. That's why we are recording on a Thursday again. But yeah, it's good. The Mets played well against the Tigers this week. It was a battle. Shout out Nolan McLean again. Big Nolan McLean fan. And Brandon Sproat is making his major league debut this weekend. So looking forward to seeing another young arm. And potentially him or Jonah Tong could be matching up against Jacob deGrom next weekend in Flushing. So I
feel like at that point, I want to have Nolan McLean face off against DeGrom for the sole purpose of you can truly have the meme of the future is now, old man.
Yeah, so originally he was lined up for that, but they're calling up Sprout for Sunday, which was supposed to be McLean's start. So McLean's going to start on Monday, which is fine. McLean will match up against the Phillies, which they probably, I mean, in Citizens Bank Park, Phillies are a lot harder to beat than they are at Citi Field. So yeah, that's that'll be fun to watch, though. It'll be fun to see DeGrom back in Flushing, too. But anyways, we have a lot of baseball to talk about. We are in the stretch drive. We're in September, the last full month of the regular season. And we're going to talk about this division race where it feels like nobody wants to win the division. Your American League West, Alex. Currently, as the standings are shown on your screen, the Astros are leading by 4 games over the Mariners, and then the Rangers are a game and a half back of the Mariners. So it's those 3 teams battling it out. The Mariners currently hold the 3rd wild card spot, but it's been kind of a mess here. It feels like neither team is really taking advantage of the other team's struggles. It feels like on one hand, the Astros should probably have like a 10-game lead in division. On the other hand, it feels like the Mariners should probably be leading the division. And somehow the Rangers are tripping and falling their way into only being a game and a half out of a playoff spot. So I'm going to go to our resident AL West fan here first. Just give me what you're feeling.
Why are you going to me first? You know that this causes me unending agony.
Exactly. That's the point. 3 weeks left in this, 3.5 weeks left in the season. I mean, talk to me. AL West is a mess. What do you got?
You're absolutely right. It is a mess. Like, I think you put it the best there just a moment ago. This feels like a division that no one wants to win. Or, like my name says, there's just banana peels everywhere because they just keep tripping on everything here. And I mean, I wish I could even say it was just Seattle. No, it's Houston as well. Houston has also been tripping and falling. The Texas Rangers have been kind of picking it up, but they've also been tripping and falling. I did a little bit of digging here, and I found something that honestly hurts here, right? This is what was very interesting about all of this, right? Is I was taking a look at the AL West record teams for the last 20 days, right? Just the last 20 days. The Astros are 9-10, so just shy of 500. The Mariners are 6-12. But this is what's also funny. People say that this has been going on for a lot longer. That's also not true. Here in the American over the last 30 days, The Mariners and the Rangers are tied at 13 and 14 records, with the Astros being the inverse of 14 and 13. I mean, I don't get it. I legitimately do not get it. You take a look over the last couple of months. Both the Mariners and the Astros, and to some degree also the Rangers, have gone on these just deplorable losing skids here. And it felt like at any given point that one could have just completely shot out into first place here. And that's not what's been happening. What's been happening is that they have all been in this cacophony of failure in this point that has just been sad. I know cacophony is about sound. I just wanted to use it, came to my mind.
That's a very fancy word. That's probably like a level 4 vocab word. I'd say.
Look, it's a level 4 vocab word I used wrong, probably. But sorry, Miss Duffy. Anyway, looking at this, it's just been depressing to watch the AL West, and I have a theory that I need to bring up to you all here. Splash, thank you for continuously bringing things up just to make my points look even worse. But thank you. I appreciate that. Really do. Here's why I have a theory of what's going to happen here. The Seattle Mariners are going to finish here with 87 wins. They are going to come up and be a few games above 500, and then they will lose the playoff spot, potentially getting a wild card. Like, it's potential, not saying it's going to happen. The reason why is that at 87 wins, they will be at 54%. And what are they on track to do? They're on track to be not too far from there. Let's be honest. I think at this point right now, there is a very eerie solution that I think is very, oh yeah, wow. They even have them right now at 80, what is it at, about 84%, 84.5%. Here, what is it, 84.5 wins? So, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Fun times. But no, like, I've been watching this team and watching them just systematically falling apart one by one here. Cal Raleigh has gone on a bit of a homer drought over the last couple of weeks here. He was at 50 for what felt like forever, and then at the time this goes up, 3 nights ago, got 51. So good for that. But still is hitting abysmally. Julio has actually been really picking things up, which has been nice. The starting pitching, though, has been the opposite of that. How does a team that in 2024 was one of the best pitching rotations in all of baseball, how do you go to the failure fest that we have seen this year? Legitimately, like, I want to know. Because at this point, Kirby, I don't even want to say has been too much different. Has he been angry, Kirby? No. Has he been pitching absolutely horrendously? Also, no. Luis Castillo has had outings where he has been dominant, and then outings where he has been lesser than. Okay. I'm trying not to go too hard on this, because legitimately, I've already had my crash out. My crash out happened yesterday when the game was 8-0. And I'm going to say justifiably so. But one of the things I want to bring up here is the first inning. I believe it was, the first inning of the game between the Mariners and the Rays yesterday, where the Rays got 5 straight hits. One of them was above 100 exit velo. One of those 5. And of the, I believe it was 8 hits they got in the inning, still only one of those hits were above 100 miles per hour exit velocity. In fact, I believe 3 of them were below 80. It's like, is it luck? Is it just bad luck that's hitting them at this point? Is it just bad timing? Is it bad defense? I don't know, because the defense has been good too. Like, has it been amazing defense? No. Has it been what should be serviceable to good defense? Yes, it has been. So, legitimately, what is going on? That's what I want to know. Because here's the other thing with this. I'm not even just talking about Seattle here. the Houston Astros have also not been playing up to par either. They've been playing very mid baseball for a team that Splash still thinks is one of the best in all of baseball here. I don't see it anymore. They haven't been at that level. They've been good. Don't get me wrong, but they've also had their own problems here. And then you have the Texas Rangers that just lost Nathan Eovaldi and are still playing okay. Like, they're playing all right. It really does feel like no one wants to win the division here at this point. It really doesn't. Here, Splash keeps bringing up different points here on YouTube. Make sure to go subscribe to us on YouTube at Losses Above Replacement to see the video version of these podcasts. But keeps bringing up these things. I'm not reading this. This is getting to the point where now we're getting the dad going. I'm not reading that. As awesome or I'm so sorry. As applicable. No, I don't know what to think right now when it comes to this division, because it really does feel like that the series that's going to happen between Seattle and Houston between September 19th and 21st will decide the division. I just think it will. Seattle does not play any more games against the Texas Rangers, but does play some against the Kansas City Royals here, who are the team just behind the Rangers in the wild card race. Seattle having the 1.5 game lead on the third game of the division, on the third wild card, is interesting. I don't know how well that's going to hold. If they win against the Royals at in Kansas City, then I think I might be able to solidify it for them to a degree. But it's also going to depend on how well you do against Houston. If you somehow sweep Houston, you win the division. If you don't, I don't see it happening at this point. This is going to be one heck of a final stretch for both teams, especially considering the fact that Seattle still has to play now Atlanta here, which obviously they're going to get smashed by Atlanta. Then St. Louis, then the Angels, then Kansas City, then Houston. Then you have 3 against Colorado at home. But the last 3 games, you have to play the Dodgers. I don't know what to think about that series, because also let's be frank here, guys. The Dodgers are already will have clinched a playoff spot by that point here. They're going to be trying to go for the number 1 slot here at that point, which I don't know if they'll be in the race for that here. I don't know if they're going to be playing at full capacity though either. Will they want to win those games? Will they be playing their backups? Will it matter? We don't know yet. But what you can take any level of solace in is that I have major depression about this. Watching yesterday, I just felt so gone.
I'll say this much, which is that the September schedule, they have to take advantage of those teams that are the lesser teams on their schedule. Those games against the Angels, those games against the Rockies. And the thing is with that Dodgers series, on one hand, they could have clinched the division by then. On the other hand, they're getting smacked around by the Pirates again. It is 5-0 in the 6th inning. I know it's Paul Skeens on the mound for Pittsburgh, but there's a chance that the Dodgers have not clinched the division, which I could talk all day about the NL West too. I mean, the Padres just got swept by the Orioles. The Dodgers look like they're about to get swept by the Pirates. But sticking the AL West, I mean, the thing is, I don't know what it is, but it's the road struggles in particular with the Mariners that are alarming to me. Because this is a team that the last weekend before the All-Star break swept the Tigers in Comerica. And the Tigers are an excellent ball club. They're going to cruise to an AL Central title. And the Mariners have not won a road series since. I mean, you saw it. I mean, when I was in Seattle, they were in the midst of a 9-1 homestand, which is excellent. They were balling out that week, but they followed it with a 2-7 road trip. Then they had a nice 4-2 homestand, and now they're currently on a 1-5 road trip. All told, that is a 3-12 record in those road trips. That's concerning, very concerning. And I know we've talked about the home and road splits on the pitching staff side a number of times, but it's quite stark this year. I mean, it's a 3.40 ERA. They're 41-27 at home. They're 32-40 with a 4.69 ERA on the road. That's over a run difference. And the offense really, like you said, Alex, it feels like only Julio is really playing to their abilities right now. Cal is in a slump. Arozarena is kind of in a slump right now. Polo's had a couple of nice moments here and there, and same with Eugenio Suarez. But as a whole, it feels like the lineup is struggling too. So it's concerning for sure. And on the flip side, I mean, we look at the Astros records, and mid is the exact word I would use to describe how they've performed. They went 12-13 in July and followed it with a 13-15 August. And somehow they have a 4-game lead in the division. I mean, that's the thing, is that record-wise, actually, the Mariners had a better August than them. But it was mostly the front half of August. They were excellent. The first 2 weeks of August, they looked like they could be the team to beat in the American League. And if I'm being honest, the Rangers are in a weird spot where their run differential is great, but they also just lost their best pitcher in Eovaldi. They just lost their best hitter in Seager, and they also have lost Marcus Semien. So they're in a really rough spot. Realistically, I don't know if any of these teams scare me. If I'm going to the playoffs and I'm matching up against one of the ALS teams, I'm not going to lie, I feel pretty good about my chances. I think it's going to be either, and I'm no disrespect to the Blue Jays, but the Yankees or Red Sox, I think, are in strong position. And then I would say the Tigers are probably third there. I don't know if any of these ALS teams can make a deep run into the playoffs. They all have glaring weaknesses. They haven't really played to their abilities. So yeah, it's a mess, and it's really just, it's kind of alarming that neither the Mariners or the Astros has really taken charge in this race.
Yeah. And one thing I want to kind of add on along with what you're saying here is that I do still believe that talent-wise, Seattle has the ability to make a deep run. The problem is that they're all slumping at the same time, unless your name is Julio Rodriguez. Or technically also Leo Rivas, who just hit his first major league home run. So good for Leo Rivas. But I just want to see this team play the way that we've seen that they are able to play here. It is truly a problem here, what has been going on here. I'll say one more thing here on this as well. Even apparently now MLB and ESPN is starting to realize how important the series is between Seattle and Houston.
Yep.
As the Sunday game just got promoted to Sunday Night Baseball. So, cool. I guess. Cool.
Mets Cubs got moved to, I think they put a Wednesday game or something on ESPN. So yeah, they're doing what they can to get those big series on national television. I get it.
Let them cook. Unfortunately, my beloved A's are the Bozo Brigade of the season. So they are not going to be playing October baseball. I'm sure the rest of humanity knew that, but yeah, it's been a rocky year. And I do think Houston deserves some credit. You know, Yordan Alvarez has missed most of the season. Isaac Paredes is out for the year. Jeremy Pena missed a big chunk of time. Christian Walker has just been just atrocious, frankly. They're holding on to a spot. And Seattle, we come into the season and it's the pitching. And it's really not been the pitching. It's of course been Cal as a team. They have a 109 OPS plus. That's very good. Randy, Julio, Canzone, and Polanco in their everyday lineup over a 120 OPS plus. JP Crawford's been fine, a 106 OPS plus. Cal, like I said, he's at a 163 OPS plus. And the pitching has been below average, given that they play their games at T-Mobile Park, 94 ERA plus. And like Alex said, I think the Mariners have the talent to make a deep run. And in theory, like, you're walking into a series with like Wu, Kirby, and then Munoz is closing it out. That could be wraps. That's not a team I would want to face in a wild card series if I'm Boston or New York. I don't want to be in that spot. And I don't want to be the 3 seed in the AL and maybe have to play Seattle. Yes, you'd get them at home, and that's nice, but I have no interest in that. And right now they're in a spot as the third wild card. They'd be going to Houston, so I know Houston's beaten them previously in the playoffs these last couple of years, but like that's not a matchup I want to have any part of. That, yes, I know Seattle is like underachieved a little bit relative to expectation this year, but it's also a team that could be elite pitching wise. That, yes, I know, again, they haven't been elite pitching this season, but when October comes, pitching wins and Seattle has the horses. They haven't been let out of the starting blocks yet, but they have the horses.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is that like both these teams are very talented. It's just when you get to October, and I know anything can happen in October. It's kind of a crapshoot. But what version are you going to see? Are you going to see the version that we're seeing right now, where everyone's kind of like spinning their wheels trying to pull ahead, or are we going to see like the peak version of them? I feel like we saw this. We saw this with the Rangers actually 2 years ago, where the Rangers were kind of tripping and falling and they blew the division lead, but then they pulled it together and they dominated the Rays, they dominated the Orioles, and then they beat the Astros in 7 and then dominated the Diamondbacks. Like those wins, other than game 1 of that series, were dominant, I would say. So it'll be interesting to see A, who wins the division, and B, can they make it further than the wild card series? But anyways, any final thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I've got a couple things to bring up here. For the Astros here, that also getting back Jordan is a huge boon for the team. Like, if he plays anything like we expect Mr. Yordangus Alvarez to play, then that just became a game changer right there. I'm sad that the nickname is not Yordangus Alvarez, but you know what, it'd be like that. On Seattle's side of things here, I agree that they have it's about whether or not the team can actually hold up with what they're trying to do. Like, because we've seen this team play at an unbelievable level where they have looked unbeatable for bits here. When the pitching was on, it was on. When the hitting was on, you were nailing it. You were figuring everything out here. And hopefully, my hope, right, is that the slump ends about like early to mid September, and they get hot going into the playoffs here. Because then at that point, because momentum is everything, and especially when you get to October. So it comes down to, at this point, of can you stop spinning the tires in the mud here and actually get back on the interstate?
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Yeah, I mean, it's both teams trying to get out of the mud. I mean, really, it's. I mean, I guess the Astros have sort of, they've had a couple of nice wins here and there. That win against the Yankees, aided by home plate umpire Brian Walsh. I know some of my friends who are Yankee fans were crashing out like crazy about it. But that was like a big win for them. I mean, that was a game they were trailing. I believe it was 4-0 or 4-1, and they came back and won. They've shown flashes of greatness. They've shown at times that they can be the best team in the AL, but really, I feel like for the most part, the last 2 months or so, they really haven't. But anyways, we've talked plenty about the AL West. Last week, we talked a lot about the AL. We talked both sides. We talked a lot about MVP and Cy Young races. We did miss a couple of awards, so we're going to dive right into those. We're going to start with the American League Rookie of the Year. It seems like there is now a runaway favorite here. Nick Kurtz. I mean, what do you guys have to say about this? I mean, is there anyone like remotely close to getting near the first, getting even a first place vote in the Rookie of the Year race?
Here's the thing. Roman Anthony, I thought, had a chance to potentially steal something, and then he got hurt again.
He's out for the year, yeah.
He's out completely. So, yeah. Then you look at Jacob Wilson. He's out still, too. Jason Dominguez.
He's back, but he's just not in the race, really.
Yeah, he's not. Jason Dominguez. I still don't understand how Jason Dominguez is still considered as a rookie. Like, don't get me wrong. In 2023, I bought baseball cards here that's had Jason Dominguez rookie card here. And I'm like, what is happening? Because now we're in 2025 and he is a rookie of the year candidate. I mean, if of anybody, I still think maybe the best chance of even doing anything is maybe Chandler Simpson. But that would have to be like, he hits 4 home run games. He somehow steals 20 bases in 1 month here and decides to say, oh, hey, by the way, I've now bought the Rays. Like, that's the only way how it happens. Because honestly, no, it's Kurtz. Kurtz is absolutely dominating this race.
Yeah, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, drop a follow, drop a subscribe, drop a like. That'd be great. Nick Kurtz just got to 400 plate appearances. The last time a rookie had a OPS plus of 180 through 400 plate appearances was in 1884. And I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't around in 1884. And you have some all-time great rookie seasons. You have Judge hitting 52 homers. You have Mike Trout being runner-up in MVP. Mark McGwire hitting at the previous record before Judge. Dick Allen. Lots of Rookie of the Year campaigns. I'm highlighting them on YouTube. Fred Lynn, the GOAT. Ted Williams. Yasiel Puig. Like, these are phenomenal seasons. And Nick Kurtz is a cut above. And yes, you can say, oh, the ballpark. Well, 180 OPS plus, that's ballpark adjusted. Nick Kurtz is like dominating at just an absurd level. He has 28 home runs in 96 games. That's crazy. 72 RBI, if you care about that. He's slashing 300, 400, 600. That's pretty good, by the way.
That's all right, yeah.
Yeah, if he had been called up earlier in the season, we're talking about like an MVP candidate, assuming production and the extra 40 or 50 or so games he's missing. But it's not – he's going to get down ballot MVP votes. Like, that's where we are. The rest of the cast, maybe Jacob Wilson, if he had maintained like hitting 330 or something, would have gotten down ballot, or if Roman Anthony had come up earlier in the season. But none of the National League rookies are likely to get any more than like a stray 10th place vote in the Ryan Tepera mold. Nick Kurtz is going to get actual votes to win MVP, not like over Cal or over Judge or anything, but there are reasonable arguments for him to be in the, 5th or 8th or something like that. Like, he has 4.8 baseball reference WAR as a first baseman who's not, he's fine defensively. He's +3 defensive runs saved, but he's 3rd in the American League in OPS, given the hitless plate appearances that come in when you're below the qualified mark. He's 9th in position player WAR. He's 10th in offensive WAR, 6th in on base, 2nd in slugging. He's 10th in home runs. If you for that, like, it's been an absurd season, and he had the 4 homer game a couple weeks ago. Just been a special player to watch, and I'm glad I at least picked the right team to win American League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and the crazy thing here is that it took him a minute to like get his feet under him. He didn't homer for his first 17 games in the majors, or it took him until his 17th game of his first homer. He only had 1 home run through his first 23 games in the bigs. But since May 20th, so that is a 73 game span, he has 27 homers. He's batting .337 with a .439 on base and a .735 slug. That is a 1.174 OPS, at 162 game pace of just under 60 home runs and 147 RBIs. That is superhuman stuff. I understand he's a 30% strikeout rate, but he has a near 14% walk rate. He's hitting the ball super hard. His baseball savant page is littered with red, other than his strikeout percentage, his whiff percentage, and his squared up percentage, which is interesting to me. But he's just been an absolute animal. And yeah, I wonder what he can do if he's up for the start of the season next year. And by the way, those home road splits, he has 1,000 OPS on the road too, or over 1,000 OPS on the road. So it's not like he's just mashing at Sutter Health Park. But yeah, Nick Kurtz is the runaway favorite in the American League. I'll say this much: Jacob Wilson has been nice. He'll probably get some votes. And Roman Anthony, he was my preseason pick. Roman Anthony will probably be the runner-up. Unfortunate that oblique injury will knock him out 4 to 6 weeks. So if the Sox get to, say, the ALCS, maybe he returns, but that's unfortunate. Let's go over to the National League, because For a while, it seemed like there wasn't really a clear favorite in the National League, but it seems like there is a candidate emerging. It's Cade Horton from the Cubs. And Horton, I know, was a solid prospect in the minors, and he had a decent first half. He sort of struggled at the start too. Only a 4.45 first half ERA, but since the second half began, he's been arguably the best pitcher in the National League. 0.77 ERA in 47 innings. He's only allowed 2 home runs. He struck out 44 against 14 walks. For reference, he walked 18 and 56 and 2/3 innings in the first half. But he's just been excellent. And while he might not be a household name yet, I think now he's probably the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. And I'm sure starting next year, he will be the ace of that Cubs staff. So what do you guys think on this race?
Yeah, this one's a lot closer than the AL side, but that's low hanging fruit. That's a low bar to reach. So I feel like at this point, like, I don't even want to completely take out Drake Baldwin either, but I think I also go with Cade Horton for the purpose of when you're getting Skeens leveled numbers here as well, that says something here, especially when you pitch in the weird ballpark known as Wrigley here, where the dimensions are weird, and so is Chicago. I love Chicago, but windy. The ball does not move correctly there. So I do still think overall that he's done exceptionally well here. I mean, when you have an ERA that is measured in decimal points, I think you're doing pretty good. I think right now, like, when it comes to Horton, like, I think he's going to win this year. Because the thing that keeps going with Drake Baldwin here again is he always going to be playing? Is he like, you still always have to wonder about what would have happened if he had a full season behind the dish, you know? Like, that's always going to be something that I think people are going to wonder. I still think that potentially Drake Baldwin could have an amazing career, especially if he does become the full-time catcher. But for Rookie of the Year this year, I think I'd go Horton.
Folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yada yada. I do think the Rookie of the Year is Drake Baldwin. Yes, Cade Horton has been very nice in the second half. Drake Baldwin has been very nice throughout the course of the season. And I know the Braves have underperformed and Chicago is going to be in the playoffs. I understand that. But I do think having a full season's workload here, a full season of, Baldwin was the opening day catcher for the Braves with the injury to Sean Murphy. I think that it should matter that he has a full season of production. He had an 830 OPS in the first half, a 778 OPS in the second half. I think he's been largely consistent. We had 800 OPS exactly in August, 800 OPS exactly in July. He hasn't had a month below a 730 OPS outside of September, but we're 3 days in. So if he sucks in September, then fair enough. He's hit as a catcher, OPS above 820, hit as a DH, OPS of 886, and he's really given stability to a Braves team that, Marcell Ozuna tore his hip and was inexplicably in the lineup for 2 months. So, we're not going to do the double catcher thing. So he does get screwed in that regard, but it's still, it's 350 or so plate appearances. He'll end the season with at least 400 and a 125 OPS plus catcher. He's fine enough defensively. And I think that's worthy of being a Rookie of the Year this year. Cade Horton, again, great season. He's come on strong, particularly. He's over 100 innings, so he's going to get to, 125 innings, 130 innings on the season. That's nice, but I do think the position player value, being a catcher in this case, gives Baldwin like half an extra point, He's been good. He's been good the entire season. The peripherals are good, so it might be even better next season. Obviously, that doesn't matter for Rookie of the Year, but it's an exciting time to be a Drake Baldwin guy.
I will say this much also. Hurston Waldrop is also another guy, and going to my Mets, Noel McLean's a guy who, both these guys, I feel like if they were up earlier in the season, would probably have a strong chance to be in the race too. And I think Baldwin's been excellent this year. Really, I think he's the future. He's definitely the long-term backstop in Atlanta. And I think he's going to be one of the better catchers in the league. And I think, honestly, he has played well enough where he'll get first place votes. It's going to be a close vote, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Baldwin ends up being the winner here. But it's going to be tight. Both players, I think, are going to get first place votes. It might look somewhat like the American League vote last year, where Heel and Kauser were very, very close in the voting. So, yeah, we'll see about that. But like I said, unlike the American League, there is not really a clear-cut favorite here. I know Horton has sort of started to separate from the pack a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the writers give it to Baldwin. But anyways, let's move on. There's another award that we haven't talked about, and I know not everyone discusses it that often because it's kind of hard to gauge, kind of hard to predict every year. It's the Manager of the Year awards. Let's stick in the National League first. I feel like we sort of have a better idea of the postseason picture in the National League compared to the AL. Who do you guys? Let me go to Splash here first. Who is your current National League Manager of the Year?
I think it has to be Pancake Man himself, Pat Murphy. This was a Brewers team that was expected to win 83.5 games. That was their over-under heading into the season. And they have already surpassed that. It is the first week in September. They have been just simply incredible. This was a team that was below 500 near the end of May, and then they've just been scorching hot since then. If it's like best 10 game stretches, it's the Brewers. Best 15 game stretches, it's the Brewers. Best 25 game stretches, it's the Brewers. They're doing historic things. Feels like week in, week out, and it's it's been just an insane rise to the top. Consider how we talked about the Phillies and the Mets and the Braves and the Dodgers heading into the season, and it's the Brewers who are not only leading everybody and not just they're a game up or 2 games up or whatever. They are 5.5 up on the Phillies right now. They are 8.5 up on or 7.5 up on the Dodgers. They're 6 up on the Cubs to win their own division. And this is not like they are way outperforming their Pythagorean win-loss. No, this is a team that is firing on every cylinder. And I know they made the playoffs last year, and that'll hurt them. But the odds are the odds. The number is the number. 83.5 was the number, at least heading into the season. And they've already surpassed that. They're going to win 95, 98, or even more than 95 games probably.
I was to say they would only have to win 9 more games for that.
They are having an absurd season. They have a 614 winning percentage. Just the playoff odds on Baseball Reference, their median outcome is 99 wins. Their 90th percentile outcome is 103 wins. They are the best team in baseball, at least record-wise, and it's not particularly close. That should be some points. They're 5 games ahead of Toronto, 5.5 up on Detroit as well. Pat Murphy, congratulations.
I mean, for me, obviously, it's not particularly close. It's Pat Murphy. He is winning games with the pure power of pancakes and friendship. He is the New Day with Big E in it here. So, look, I really want to say that it's close with, Dave Roberts is leading a team that is the Dodgers. Woo, good for him on that. Here, the Cubs are playing really cool baseball right now. Okay, cool, yay. No, it's Milwaukee. They are a team that was basically expected at this point to in May, right? Was expected to maybe competing for a wild card spot. If they really pulled it all together. Now they are the best team in baseball, record-wise, like you said, and it's really not close. When you have 86 wins and September just started, a lot of teams are just trying to make it to 86 wins. They have that and still have 20 games to go. So, Pat Murphy, easy.
Yeah, and really, I tried to think of another candidate possibly. I will say I want to give credit to Clayton McCollum with the Marlins. I know that the Marlins have fallen off in recent weeks, but they were in a solid position as of late July, early August even. Unfortunately, Kyle Stowers got hurt. He was their best hitter, and they have faltered in recent weeks. But and I'd also want to shout out Don Kelly with the Pirates. The Pirates, if they win today, will be above 500 since Don Kelly took over. And really, I didn't see it coming. So, anyways, it has to be Pat Murphy. Really, it would be his second year in a row winning the award. This was a team that was 25-28 on after the end of play on May 24th, and since then they are 61-27. That is an 112 win pace. And this is a team that every year people look at them and are like, all right, this is the year they're going to fall off. There's no way they contend this year. They have the best record in baseball by a lot. So Pat Murphy, clear favorite here. I'd say McCulloch and Kelly definitely deserve some votes here and there, probably more down ballot. Craig Counsell, the Cubs, it's a solid contender. Mike Schilt, the Padres, but it's going to be Pat Murphy. It's going to be a runaway, but let's move over to the American League. A couple of worthy candidates over there. I'll start with you, Alex. Who is your American League Manager of the Year?
So I'm going to be honest. I was kind of torn on this here because I had a few ideas, and I think overall here, I'm going to go with AJ Hinch. Like, John Schneider, I think, was the other one that I was kind of going between. But I think what's going on here with Detroit, you are in a spot where last year you opened up eyes. You're like, what's going on? How is this team playing at this level already? Right? They're playing at a ridiculous pace at the end of the year. And remember, again, did upset the Houston Astros here. And so I put a lot of value in managers that can prove that it wasn't a one-year wonder here. And this was a prove-it year, in my opinion, for AJ Hinch. Yes, he had some really good players here, like, again, Tariq Skubal. You had an offense that was really putting up solid numbers here. But basically, it was like can you do it again? Right? I don't think that aside from a few players, they have too many star players. They have a few good players. Don't get me wrong, a few really good players. But after that, it kind of falls off for them. And yet he has still led this team to what is going to be a convincing division win. Right now, they are 10 games above the next closest Kansas City Royals. And mind you, the Kansas City Royals are, let me just double check my math here. Yeah, that's right. Only 2.5 games back of a wild card. And that's the second place team here. And they have a 10-game lead on them. John Schneider, I want to make sure he gets his flowers though too, because he is coming into a situation where nobody knows what's going to happen, especially this next coming off season with the contracts that are going on. Like, I believe they got Bo Bichette's done already, if I remember correctly.
No, he's they got Guerrero.
Oh, it was Vlad. It was Vlad.
Yeah. Bichette is still set to walk after the end of the year, but boy, talk about a crazy contract year after a dreadful year last year. Boy, yeah, Bichette has been real good this year.
Welcome to playing for that money again. But yeah, no, I think you got to give him a lot of credit for being able to work around, especially all the noise that was going on there. So, with all of that being said here, I think I still just have to give it to Hinch.
I'm going to dip into the over-under well again. Entering the season, the Blue Jays had an over-under of 78.5. Again, they've already surpassed that. They have clinched at least a 500 record on this season. It's been an insane run. This is a team that if memory serves, I picked them to finish last in the American League East.
I did too.
They are winning the American League East. Good job, Toronto. And it's not even it's a competitive American League East. It's not like a bumbling squad of idiots here. Now, we can discuss Yankees fans and Red Sox fans, but the teams, they're not like they're good. We talked about the Yankees and Red Sox earlier as being, serious threats to win the pennant. They're, I believe, second and third in odds behind Detroit. And it's just the relentlessness of Toronto that they got off to, something of a rocky start. They were 11-14 in April, and then they won 57% of their games in May, and then 61% in June, and then 69% nice in July, 56% in August, and they've started 2-1 in September. Like they have been rolling. They sort of had the inverted Mets, right? They started 5-5, but they got swept by the Mets in Queens. They're sitting at 5-5. It's like, okay, oh boy, the sky is falling. Then they sweep Boston. I mean, really since then, or win 3 out of 4 in Boston, and they've been, on a roll largely since then. They have the superlative record, the best in the American League as of right now, and manager of the year, coach of the year in the NFL, all coach of the year awards a lot of times ends up being who overachieves the most, or who, compared to the preseason expectation, overachieves the most. And to me, that's Toronto in the American League. Although I do want to give a shout out to Joe Espada. The hand he's been dealt at times, the Paredes injury, Jordan injury, Christian Walker being buns, Jeremy Pena missing time, Framber Valdez trying to kill catchers. This cast of characters, there's a reason he's third. I think that's fair. Kevin Cash always is in consideration for these. Alex Cora, I think, has done a good job. He had a spiraling team. They trade their best player. He's kept them in contention. So some decent candidates, but I think John Schneider stands out as the best.
Yeah, and really for me, it came down to Schneider and Hinch. But I do want to give some flowers to a guy you do not see on your screen right now, and that is Tony Mansolino with the Orioles. He takes over after Brandon Hyde is fired, and again, just like the Pirates with Don Kelly, they've been above 500 since Mansolino took over. They've actually played pretty solid baseball. For a while, I was wondering firing Brandon Hyde, I didn't think was necessarily going to change much, but the Orioles have played with energy, I feel like, ever since Mansolino took over, and they were losing a lot at first when he took over. Like, they kept losing initially, but they've played inspired baseball. I feel like this is a team that is talented enough where next year they can contend again. Like, this is a solid group of players. So he's gotten them sort of energized. And Alex Cora, I think, deserves some credit. I mean, they trade your best hitter, and they've been great ever since, really, especially ever since Roman Anthony came up. Unfortunately, he's hurt. But I got to go with Schneider. Like Splash said, I had them picked to come in last place. They also did not get much out of their big ticket free agent signing this offseason. Anthony Santander, he's been hurt, and he underperformed when he was healthy. But this is a team that has far exceeded my expectations. I didn't see them winning more than 75 games this year. They're at 81. They have the best record in the American League. And, I mean, this is a team that's going to get a bye in the playoffs, I think, which is crazy. They have a big series against the Yankees coming up. But, I mean, all the credit in the world to John Schneider for getting the Blue Jays to where they are now. But anyways, that is all we have for the awards talks. Let us know in the comment section below, wherever you're listening, who you have as your rookies of the year, your managers of the year. I'm sure you'll disagree with us. But anyways, it's time for everyone's favorite trivia segment. It's time for, like I said, it's time for trivia. Alex, take it away.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gays and days, and everyone in between. It is now time here for a game that I have been inspired by watching some other YouTubers do. I want you guys to put away any stats you might have now available to you. Make sure you don't have anything like that going, because we're going to play a game I'm calling Minefield. So, I have with me here, I will share my screen for this. Here, I have a grid of 16 players, and the goal is to pick players that have an OPS this year currently of 890 through 1,000. Not 890 and up, 890 to 1,000. Here, so I'm going to make sure you guys can... There we go. There's the thing here. I'm going to do a little test here because I don't think it's showing. Yeah, it's not showing me make any edits here on this, which is unfortunate, but oh well. So I have this list of 16 names, and 8 of them fit the criteria of an OPS between 890 and 1,000. So with that all being said here, I would like, first of all, I did Mac last time, so Splash. I would like you to call heads or tails.
Never fails, baby. Let's go tails.
It is heads. Here, so I flipped the remote for the light of my bed.
We have a new challenge. Alex, flip any object besides a coin.
That's not a challenge because I do it all the time anyway. Anyway, so Mac, there is enough for each of you to try and find 4. How it's going to work is if you get one wrong, that is a strike. You do not get 3 strikes. You get 2 strikes because there's only a total of 4 that each of you can get. So you get the honor. Would you like to pick first or pick second?
I'll pick first.
Sounds good. All right. So, unfortunately, like I said,
have to name one of these guys, one of these 16 guys.
Yep, that's all you got to do.
All right.
Name one of them.
I
will double check to make sure that they actually fit the criteria.
All right. Well, Cal Raleigh is one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Cal Raleigh here, double checking for is at 9:30, so he is correct for you. You are safe. Splash, you are next.
Okay. So I do want to clarify. Like in Minesweeper, you can flag items. Are we allowed to flag items?
No.
Okay.
This is not Minesweeper. This is just don't pick the wrong ones.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. I am going to go with Shohei Ohtani.
Well, Mr. Shohei Ohtani just barely qualifies at 9.
Oh my God. I wasn't sure about that.
There we go. 997. So good on that. All right, Mac, back to you.
I can't believe I'm saying this in 2025, but George Springer is one of these guys.
George Springer is correct.
Second in the American League.
Yeah, he has an OPS
That's
right
bananas.
now of 956.
How is that possible?
All right.
Oh, goodness, dude.
All right, Splash, it's back to you.
All righty. I am going to rock and roll with Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber is also correct. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber with an OPS right now of 935.
Okay, now we're getting to the tough part. We've
By
each
the way,
picked
for those
2,
of
right?
you wondering why I put the top row in a different color, it's because I made this in PowerPoint and didn't really have a way to do any better. So, anyway.
Header goes crazy.
All right, I'll go with the guy that everyone says was a bust this offseason, but he's actually quite good, Juan Soto.
Mr. Juan Soto.
He got over 900, I know.
It's 920. You're safe.
Yep.
All right, Splash, it's back to you.
I'm going to go with another player who was perceived as a bust, Rafi Devers.
See, over
when Mr. Rafi Devers gets you your first strike.
No.
He has an OPS right now of 861.
Yeah, I figured he'd be. All right,
All right.
I'm going to take one that I know at least got over 900. I just don't know if he stayed over 900. Kyle Stowers.
Kyle Stowers is correct. He has
Let's go.
912.
Okay. I will take this to the Marte Parte. Give me Cattell.
Kettle Marty is correct at 923.
Nice.
All right. Well, I've named 4. What does that do now?
So now, like I said, there's only a couple names left. So here's how I'm gonna do this here.
Should be one name left.
There's only one name left. So here's how it's gonna work. Because Splash, you're the only one with a strike. I'm gonna make you try to name the last one. If you get it correct, we will have a tie, and I do have a tiebreaker ready.
I'm gonna go Byron Buxton.
Byron Buxton.
It's close.
Splash. You found the last one. Congratulations.
Oh my.
So I want you to know, when I was building this, I originally had it at 900 and above, but there was only 7. So I went down to 890 above because that includes Byron Buxton at 892.
Yes, Alex has appreciated our Lord and Savior for once.
I've appreciated him a number of times. I just don't appreciate his doctors because apparently they can't keep him healthy.
He gets the bad Dr. Good Job luck. Bad Dr. Good Job luck.
All right. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this because the tiebreaker, I just wanted you to guess closest to. What is Jazz Chisholm's OPS right now?
Are we supposed to just like
each of you give me a guess?
I can
Closest?
go first since I have the
let's
strike.
watch go first.
So you
because
can
of the
like
strike.
adjust your guess based on mine, I guess.
Yes.
I'll say 813.
813. All right, Mac.
Oh, I think it's. I'm gonna go with 847.
847.
You're a braver man than I am. I've just
Mac,
really gone like
I'm gonna tell you this right
814.
now. If we were playing Price is Right, you would have lost. You've gone over.
I went over.
You went over, but we are not playing Price is Right. We are playing Minefield, and you have won, my friend. Here, his OPS is 842.
I knew it was in that range.
You were only off by 5. That is incredible.
Okay.
But
GG's.
There's
GG's.
Minefield. Alrighty.
Thank you, Alex. That was a lot of fun. Let's do that again sometime.
I would absolutely love to. I love Minefield. But yep, congratulations to you, Mac.
All right, thank you, Alex. Anyways, it's time for the last segment of the show that we end every show with. It's the moment to ourselves. 60 seconds to talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. So who wants to go? Alex, all right, your hand is up, so you will go first. I will count you down. Just give me a second. Your timer starts in 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, Dan, I'm talking to you. I love you, Dan Wilson. You are an amazing human being. I understand the hesitancy of starting or even playing Harry Ford. I understand that you don't want to rush him. You're basically just getting him up here to let him experience what it's like to be in a major league clubhouse. In games that are must win, which right now it feels like all of them are, but in games that you have the choice to play Harry Ford in, and it's that this is a make or break type game, especially for momentum, please let Harry Ford play a game. Please. Or just let him go. Having Mitch Garver in the last game of that series against the Rays, I'm not even mad at Mitch Garver. I'm not even. He's actually done pretty well for the job he's supposed to do this year of being a good bat against righties. Against lefties. He's been very good against lefties. Why are you starting him against a righty? Not only is he below average, he had an 80 OPS plus. Not an 85, not, anything close to 100. No, he is playing 1/5 below average player, and you're starting him. He is so much more valuable at that point here when a starter is a righty. He is so much better as a pinch hitting opportunity here against the left-handed pitcher that you bring in than he is to start the game as the catcher. Even if Cal needs a day off, that's fine. Let Harry Ford play. Let him get at least some experience. You talk about him needing to make sure he gets the constant reps, and you don't want to just throw him into the fire with nothing there. He's already doing that because he's not playing. Like, not only is he getting inconsistent reps, he's not getting any reps. Just let him at least get a chance here at this point, because at this point, I like you, Mitch Garver. I really do. But playing against a right-handed pitcher, playing Mitch Garver against him is not a guaranteed out, but man, it does not look good here. And at this point right now, again, with no disrespect, you know what you're getting with Garver. At least with Harry Ford, you've got a chance on something. And this is a guy that, again, has been playing in big situations. Do we not remember the fact that he has hit multiple home runs in the World Baseball Classic for Great Britain? Like, the guy knows what it's like to play on a big stage. Playing a Major League Baseball game in a playoff race, this is a time for him to shine. Dan, I respect the living hell out of you. You are a good man. You are someone that I've actually personally got to, you've done stuff for me and my family, which I wholly appreciate. But please, 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 and I understand your hesitancies, but right now, you got to do some kind of spark that gets this team going again. Because the way they're playing, they're about to miss out on the playoffs again.
Yeah, I've been personally wondering where the heck Harry Ford has been. I almost forgot he got called up. That's not a good sign normally. So yeah, I agree. Please put him in the lineup. I just want to see what it's like to see him play in majors, it's kind of weird when you call a guy up and he just sits on the bench. I'll leave.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to just to be doing pinch hitting and all that kind of stuff. I get it.
Yeah,
but if you're facing off against a righty and Cal needs a day to not be catching to heal up or anything,
just DH him or sit him down, or
you can have him catch then against a righty here, or if you really want to as well, put him as a DH
or put him in right field so he can win MVP. Kidding.
Yeah, totally. Anyways, Splash, do you want to go next?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Rapid fire NFL predictions. Bills get the 1 seed, but they lose in the divisional round to the Texans, who advance to the AFC Championship game for the first time ever, who lose to the coin flip between the Ravens and Chiefs. Frankly, I think both teams are very good. They're the top shelf along with Buffalo in the AFC. Could be Baltimore's year. I don't know. Could be the Chiefs' year. Mahomes for MVP, though. Other awards picks. Justin Jefferson, Offensive Player of the Year. Jared Verse, Defensive Player of the Year. Tataroa McMillan, Bear Down Go Cats, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Abdul Carter, obviously, is Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Protector of the Year, Creed Humphrey, protecting for the MVP, Patrick Mahomes. In the NFC, the Cardinals are making the playoffs. Bow down, peasants. The Bucs are going to the Super Bowl, where they will lose to either the Ravens or the Chiefs. Congratulations, everybody. It's either going to be the worst year in history because Mahomes gets his 4th Super Bowl, or the best year in history because our glorious king, Lamar Jackson, gets his 1st Super Bowl. Yeah, shout out.
Fair enough.
That was I'm following a lot of those. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I'll definitely agree with you on the Cardinals one. I think they're a lot better than people realize.
And to be clear, Alex, I have the Seahawks tied for a playoff spot. So all it takes is one game that I pick wrong to make the playoffs,
or miss the playoffs.
That's a good point. And Mac, I do have the Steelers in the playoffs. Unfortunately, it's hashtag better than a bye, getting mollywopped by the Chiefs again. So
I was gonna say it's either gonna be the Chiefs or the Bills that just dog walk them in that round.
I apologize profusely.
It's exactly how I see the season going. If you wouldn't believe it.
Wait, you trying to tell me they're not just gonna go 9-8 again?
I was gonna say they're gonna go 9-7-1 actually.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, the Steelers have won exactly 10 games the last 2 seasons. So
yeah. I sound a lot like a Yankee fan whenever I talk about the Steelers because they haven't had a losing season since I was in preschool, but at the same time, they haven't won a Super Bowl since I was in 3rd grade, and they haven't won a playoff game since I was a junior in high school. Yeah. And then Cleveland Browns fans will be like, hold my beer.
Hey, the Browns did beat
the Steelers in a playoff game. So, there is something there. Anyways.
One more.
Yep.
Raiders are going to the playoffs, baby. I hope. They're probably going to lose to New England, and I'll be sad. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, someone count me down.
All right, your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, I just want to say that Syracuse-Tennessee game went quite poorly. But I do appreciate Fran Brown's honesty with A, his team, and B, the media, which is nice. I mean, look, you can't face your non-conference games can't be against Holy Cross or UConn or Colgate all year long. And that's the only tough part about going from being rather uncompetitive to being nationally ranked is that now you're opening the season against Tennessee and not those lesser schools. Respectfully to those teams, they do have talented players on their roster. But I still think this team will be all right. It's just a really tough schedule. So maybe 9-3 doesn't happen this year. Maybe they don't go as far as we think they will, but I think Stephen Jelly showed some signs of life. Yassine Willis had 3 touchdowns on the ground. Just the defense couldn't keep up with Tennessee. I mean, that's basically it's not that difficult to understand. So I still think this team is talented. I still think this team can do pretty well, and I think Angeli is the right answer at the quarterback position. So I'm still looking forward to watching this team 12 times this year, and hopefully get a bowl game. Hopefully that road game against Clemson isn't too ugly, or the road game against Notre Dame. But anyway, yeah, I still don't feel too badly about how this team looks.
Does Syracuse play Duke this year?
Yes.
Okay,
they do.
I apologize in advance. I will be rooting for Duke in that game. I have irrational hype in Duke, as well as Illinois, who they play this week.
Interesting.
And Texas Tech. Give me the oil money. And South Carolina, because Lenora Snellers is cool.
Yeah, Lenora Sellers was supposed to be an orange and then flipped his commitment. I remember when I was in grad school, everyone was getting excited about Lenora Sellers coming to Syracuse, and then of course he bailed on his commitment, which is fine. I completely understand why he did that. At the time, the coaching staff was kind of in flux, so it was before they had hired Fran Brown. But
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina, I think Lenora Sellers is a pretty good athlete, and
he might be the Heisman front runner right now, given
he
that
might be. Yeah,
Klubnik lost,
yeah.
Arch lost. I mean, Nussmeier they won, but he didn't have like this dominant statistical game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll say this much: like last year, as great as Syracuse was, their toughest opponent was probably Miami. They didn't have to face Clemson last year. They didn't have to face Duke. They didn't have to face UNC. Like UNC, I could talk all day about what the heck happened to Bill Belichick's squad. Chapel Bill, boy. Anyway, that'll do it for us today. If you liked what we said about the AL West or something, or you like our awards takes, or you disagree with our takes, let us know on YouTube or Spotify. Make sure to subscribe and follow us. Turn on those notifications. Leave us a 5-star rating. Give us a like on YouTube. Smash that like button. Follow us on Twitter. Follow Slash at Mr. Splashman19. Follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242, and follow myself at Mathias_A_K. And of course, follow the LAR account at LAR_baseball. But for all of us at LAR, thank you all for listening. Stay safe, and I hope to see you all real soon. Thank you.